Alrighty. That's up and running. We're getting better at getting this running in under 10 minutes. I'm a little slow on the take sometimes. Alright. Almost. There we go. And now we just need the... Why is this showing double? It's acting all funky trying to get set up. Oh. Alright. I see YouTube is up. I see TikTok is up. I wonder why it's acting all funny. Every time I swear it as another issue. Alright, well, we can at least get the YouTube chat system working. Alright, there it is. Okay. Hello again. Let me make sure the sound is working, and then we're gonna kick it off. Alright, everything is working. Look at that. We got it all set up in 3 minutes. That's like 3 times improvement from last time. It took me like 10 minutes to figure it out. Yeah, okay. So we're back at it again. And we're gonna keep taking a look at this. Here is chapter 1. We did some edits yesterday, so let's take a look at how that went. This place is dark as hell. I can't see a thing, Charles thinks. He stumbles forward, unable to even see his hand in front of him. He finds a smooth stone wall, cool against his palm and then against his cheek. He finds the smooth stone wall, cool against his palm and against his cheek. He leans against it to steady himself. Switching the half-empty bottle of bourbon in his hands, he uses it at the wall to steady himself. How the hell did I get in a cave? Charles continues to stumble forward in spite of the confusion. I could swear I was just at a research camp with my colleagues. How are we going to finish our wildlife study? Frack will give me such shit. Not to mention Mary is going to scold me for being out alone. Gripping the wall, he pauses, feeling the wave of nausea overpower his senses. Nausea. Just depends how you say it. Thanks for the likes. He covers his mouth for a moment. I gotta be more careful. I almost forgot how strong bourbon can be. Despite that, he pushes onward for another minute or two until he sees a light. Thank God. The light starts small, but gradually builds, a beacon of hope in the endless darkness. Hello. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. Now can you guys hear me? Yo, what is going on right now? I've like lost sound completely. Oh, it got muted? Do you guys hear me? Hello, hello? Check 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello? Hello? Dude, what the I swear with this. It's such a pain in my ass. Check 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No sound detected? Why? What in the Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. The other thing can hear me? This fucking thing, I swear to God. Hello, hello, hello. 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 Why the fuck is my mic not working? Everything else picks it up but TikTok. I'm so confused. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Camera? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. I don't get it, dude. It literally doesn't say anything. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Dog, this is annoying. Why isn't it working? I don't get it. What am I doing wrong? Why is it being terrible? Alright, maybe I gotta just literally close the whole thing out. Let's open it back up. I like all the rest of the systems are working. It's literally just hello, Hello, hello. Oh, and now I see it now. Fucking hear me. God damn it. I like literally was like, oh, this is gonna be the one where I don't have a bunch of issues, and then it's like worse than the worst live I've had yet with all these problems. It's so just typical. But it should be working now. All right, it is. Okay. You guys still hear me? All right. Let's try this again. That was like, remember I was like, man, it only took me 3 minutes. Now I'm at 12 minutes. That was now the worst start I've had. Anyways, let's try this again. So my fantasy novel, The Smartest Dumbass, by me, M.K. Walter. This place is dark as hell. I can't see a thing, Charles thinks. He stumbles forward, unable to even see his hand in front of him. He finds a smooth stone wall, cool against his palm and then against his cheek. He leans against it to steady himself. Thank you for the likes. Switching the half-empty bottle of bourbon in his hands, he uses it to steady himself. Oh, I just read that. How the hell did I get in a cave? Charles continues to stumble forward in spite of the confusion. I could swear I was just in a research camp with my colleagues. How are we going to finish our wildlife study? Frack will give me such shit. Not to mention Mary is going to scold me for being out alone. Gripping the wall, he pauses, feeling the wave of nausea overpower his senses. Nausea. He covers his mouth for a moment. I gotta be more careful. I almost forgot how strong bourbon can be. Despite that, he pushes onward for another minute or two until he sees a light. Thank God. The light starts small, but gradually builds, a beacon of hope in the endless darkness. Charles came from the United States in 2025. He'd spent his vacation time in his second home in Montreal. Every Saturday, he would go out to his favorite restaurant, order a burger, and stare off into the city lights. He loved the calm feeling of simply watching the cars drive by and letting the subtle sound of the city drown out his thoughts. The packed restaurants always put a smile on his face. An elf man, a lengthy individual with a fully straightened thank you for the likes, a fully straightened back with ears that curved to a slight point upward. His sharp nose and calm demeanor are expected to see. Was enjoying a meal with a sweet human girl with curly hair and a short frame, and was well dressed. He would watch the others walk around the street, and several college orc men would be celebrating. Their tall stature and hulking build with green skin would be hard to miss if it wasn't expected to see. Their small ears were a dead giveaway. They were taking pictures of either the city or selfies as they laughed. The college boy's eyes wandered to the half-elf girl in a skimpy outfit. Her mix of human and elven features complement her well, giving her a subtle grace with every step she took. The little dog poked out of her expensive bag. She played in her smartphone to ignore them. Unfortunately, Charles would never see his favorite quaint restaurant again. Might never see his favorite restaurant again. Charles has a mixed racial background, being both half-elf and half-human, which lends to his distinctive appearance. His skin tone is a beautiful combination of white and tan, giving him a warm and attractive complexion. One of Charles's most striking attributes, thank you for the likes, is his captivating sapphire blue eyes. They sparkle with a youthful charm, and he possesses an enchanting quality that catches the attention of onlookers, causing them to turn their heads in admiration. Perhaps the combination of his unique heritage and his distinctive features sets him apart and snares the attention of those around him. Charles is a man who possesses an athletic build, which demonstrates his commitment to fitness and strength. His well-defined muscles and broad shoulders showcase the hours dedicated to training and maintaining his physique. However, despite his impressive muscularity, he also carries a slight pooch, suggesting he'd occasionally indulge in his favorite treats or take a break from the strict diet. This slight belly bulge adds a touch of relatability to Charles's powerful image as a powerlifter, remaining others that even a dedicated athlete can enjoy simple pleasures of life. He is a wildlife biologist with a license to work as a physician's assistant. A well-educated man, with the arrogance to boot. Thank you for the likes. Charles lurches through the end of the cave to find several men standing in a group speaking in low voices. He rubs his eyes. The men are clad in medieval armor. Further away, others stand at attention, swords and spears at their sides, along the grassy hillsides. In fact, there are grasslands extending in all directions, which strikes him as odd, given his last memory. He was at a campsite in a dense pine forest. Prairie shortgrass. That is strange. You shouldn't find that plant community in a forest. A perplexed expression gives way to one loud laugh, which erupts from a yell and a relative quiet. All eyes dart towards the cave entrance. Medieval cosplayers, Charles laughs. You've got to be kidding me. He looks at everyone very perplexed before surmising what's going on. I get it. I'm dreaming, and I made up a world in my head, of course. He laughs. A man turns around to see him. He looks stunned for a moment before showing an exasperated look. Oh, great, another one. And where are you from? Charles looks at the man, a tall, decorous elf who exudes elegance and refinement, retaining a sense of grace in every situation. With short, high, and tight blonde hair, jade green eyes, and a missing left arm. He's on the slim side, but has a chiseled physique. His strength from war is far less bulky than putting on muscle from a gym. From the elegant drapes of his flowing robes to the delicate details on his military medals and tags, every aspect of his attire is meticulously chosen and exquisitely crafted. His fashion sense is both fashionable and modest. While his physical appearance is striking, his demeanor catches Charles's attention. He exudes a vibe like he's been on many battlefields and has a commanding presence. Men who live this lifestyle always have a look that can intimidate anyone who isn't ready. Charles always called it the red eye. Others would know it under the title of 1,000-yard stare. Earth! What the hell you think? Charles says facetiously. Earth? Oh, you mean Terra. Great. Send him to his guild. The man waves him off. Guild? Whatever. Just point me in the direction, fake man, Charles says, almost excitedly. I think that's beating the nail on the head with that one. I don't think you need all the extra wording for that. Charles almost excitedly. Thank you for the likes. The man points in the direction north until realizing Charles is drunk. I will just take you there. What is your name? Charles Mendel. You? Deck Drakage. It's a pleasure. I guess. Alright, lead the way. You know, if the girls don't learn about the cosplay thing, I'll bet he could pull a lot of tail. Charles chuckles to himself. He pets his long, sooty eyelashes because the sunlight bothers his eyes. They crest the hill and look at a massive city on the other side. The city is a metropolis that seems to extend endlessly in each direction. The area is teeming with people, living their lives, some never seeing the other side of the massive stone wall surrounding the city. The city is divided into several distinct districts that very plainly explain their purpose. Write the right word, say the wrong thing. There are areas distinctly designed for flight training, with young men and women learning to fly, others for housing the poor. Others for housing the poor, and entertaining districts holding a coliseum or other sports complexes. The city is a conglomeration of many different districts organized by purpose. The market district is the closest to Charles, expanding for miles. Each building has a unique bevy of colors and crests made from old brick, stone, and wood styles. Yet it looks like it has lights and running water. Flashy signs hang from the fanciest of them. The buildings have a medieval feel, as they're somewhat crooked. Yet they are enormous and have a professional design. Seems purposeful to give them character. They are made of a simple material and have to feel would find hundreds of years ago. However, the modern amenities stick out like a sore thumb in comparison. The market district has buildings that encompasses the eye with an unusual mix of sizes and styles, with the building being far too tall and cumbersome for a simple medieval style framework to withstand. Yet physics would prove that even with machines, they shouldn't be able to design such unique and gravity-defying buildings that should crumple under their own weight, lack of sturdy base. The walls around the city are thick and tall, but Charles can still see the city behind them. The city's architecture is a conglomeration of dozens of periods and styles that all seem to share a hint of Renaissance style. People on brooms or individual sense brooms fly about. A giant energy-filled orb in the farthest distant catches his eye. The orb's massive amounts of energy that would kill anyone that would come in contact with it. A minor inconvenience to the citizens tend to shrug it off. The walls bend and weave as if they're taking a large breath. The people are all faster than a man sprinting, yet they all look like they're putting in any effort. Animals and objects fly about, bathed in ethereal blue light, landing in their destination, seemingly without guides. Everyone moves in fast pace, city, with hive-like precision. The fast and unique buildings seem to move. They constantly adjust their weight like a drunk man trying to stay on his feet. However, the people inside do not move, disregarding the fundamental laws of physics, which has been suspended. The more Charles looks at it, the more his head spins. How is the city like that? Did that fucking guy just fly around on a mop? I don't see any wires. The city looks energized, but some of the aging looks genuine, like some old medieval castle. I don't see power lines, but they have power in the house. Are they underground? Why are the walls moving? Are they collapsing? The weird buildings are flopping, yet no one goes and flies out the window. Charles stops, walking, falling into a fit of intellectual questions, trying to understand the seemingly impossible city he is looking at. Deck stops and looks back at him. You there, Charles? You seem to have gone quiet. He doesn't hear a word. Deck walks over and waves a hand in his face. Hello? He shouts and pulls Charles out of his mind. Yes, I'm here. Please, just lead the way. He gestures with his hand with the bottle. He looks at it and offers it to Deck. Deck cautiously takes it, looking worrying at him before turning back around. Well, just follow, would you? Right. Deck takes him 30 minutes plus. They approach the city. The closer they get, the more Charles's brain spins. At this point, he doesn't know whether it's from too much booze or from the massive illogical thing he's looking at. They arrive at the walls. They look like your typical medieval city walls, with a large flag draping over them. The blue flag with a white globe in the center reads, "For the city." The very stone of the wall becomes indented, and a perfect cube rolls back on one side, making a door for them to enter. Charles looks up and can't find any mechanisms to open the door, to open or move the door. He stops momentarily in the middle, trying to understand the nonsense he observes. Deck waves the bottle forward. Yes, it's an impressive door. Keep moving. The roads are narrow but paved, open enough for people and horses, but not vehicles. They watch several carriages zoom by them. Charles takes a deep breath, expecting a foul smell. Yet the air is antiseptic, with a fragrant mix. He gives it a strange look, expecting a big whiff of a shit smell. The area is well lit, with brick lighting posts on the roads. Each one of them has a small lit blue crystal inside the glass. A woman waves her hand and pulls a lever. Water comes out of the pole, and she washes her hands. Each building, from businesses to houses, have many blue crystals that power everything he can see. The road is busy with many different people. He does recognize some. He sees races he recognizes, but others that throw him off. Small people with beards, or other half-human, half-animal-looking bodies or heads. The windows are in a crosswood design, holding smaller pieces of glass in each one. The more extravagant buildings have full window panes. Animals he has never seen pull or help. He's never seen before. This is why we edit. Animals he's never seen before pull or help carry for merchants with large carts or wood designs. Vehicles pulled by beasts. The large beasts, some scaly, others furry, with happy, scary faces, live about working alongside their owners. Each one of them has a row of sharp teeth or other self-defense mechanisms. Charles stares at the strange creatures, thinking about how they have a weird mix of dinosaurs and ancient mammals. The area is loud. Many people are yelling for people's attention, far louder than any voices should be able to. Carry? Nah, able to is fine. It's hard to keep track of any of them, as they're in so much noise. Deck leads him past the set of buildings and turns the corner to a quieter road. This is one crazy dream, Charles mutters to himself. You aren't dreaming, Terra native. Welcome to the magical city. Charles rolls his eyes. Magic. Magic doesn't exist. What kind of nonsense? As he goes to finish, he looks over to see a young boy conjure a bird made from energy. It flaps and flies around him. The orc is 8 and looks middle class, wearing a nice collared red shirt with shorts. Charles again stops, stunned. He knows magic doesn't exist anywhere on Earth. That should be impossible. Sure, there's fake magic like magic shows and kids watch, but that's not what I just saw. What he just witnessed looked like something out of a movie, not real life. Hey, boy. The boy looks at him without answering. How'd you do that? The boy, proud of himself, answers. It's a simple illusion spell. Watch. He He twists and turns his head with magical lights flashing and weaving in them. Strange strings of magical energy create the image in his mind. Show me the image of my inner eye. He pushes his hands out quickly and shoots the lines and nearly instantly builds the image in his mind. A bright, mighty lion with a flaming mane roars. Charles' face turns white, rotating on his feet back to deck, and he continues walking. He scans the buildings, hoping to see something normal in which he could find comfort. He notices subtle shifts of brick of one of the buildings that keeps the building together. Several pressure points of where simple brick or wood is holding far more stress than it should be able to. Well, how this dream is going, I bet that's the most vital point of the building. The smaller wooden buildings feel almost rustic, like log cabins, while the massive skyscrapers look something out of New York City, but built out of brick. Having such opposing styles next to each other is out of place. The city feels like a conglomeration of so many different styles and sizes, it bothers Charles' mild OCD. What kind of hell have I been placed in? This place doesn't make sense. Charles feels the fleeting sun's warmth and the wind chill, but quickly pushes it to the back of his mind. I guess I should have drank so much. It's obviously messed with my head, he smirks. Deck doesn't acknowledge him and leads him to the large wooden building. It seems relatively close to the outskirts of the city. The building is taller than the houses in the area, but much smaller than most business-looking ones. A flag hangs about halfway up to the building, but no color or insignia. The windows have a cross design, with a dozen windows protrude up, with the plain walls having no designs. Hey, AP! Deck yells at the door. I got another one for you. The church-like door is massive and thick. It looks heavy to push. Several stone steps lead up to it. A hulking woman clad in chest plate exited the door within a minute. The armor has a man holding a sword on it. Her size and the scar that starts at her left temple and ends at her chin makes her look intimidating. Yet she would be pretty if she wore a dress with makeup. AP is busy, but I can take him. Her sweet southern accent represents a rich cultural heritage, evoking visions of front porches, magnolia trees, and sweet iced tea. It conveys a sense of tradition and history, often associated with kindness, generosity, and a slower pace of life. She feels kind. Thanks, Valadress. He walks closer to whisper. Careful, this one seems special. He emphasizes special. We all do on the first day, Deck. No need to be mean, Valadress says, still holding a smile. Deck then turns back to him. Okay, she'll help you from here. I'll see you around, Charles, I guess. His monotone voice resembles a cashier at the end of a long shift. Charles gives a courteous smile, showing his dimples. Other people would embarrass him when they would point it out, but they granted him a killer smile. Charles walks over to Valadress while Deck leaves. Looking away, Deck doesn't catch a slight smile from Deck. Deck takes a swig. Damn, this has some power behind it, but I like it. So when do I wake up? I gotta get back to work, Charles says jokingly. She loses her smile for a moment. Sorry, but this ain't a dream. Welcome to Terraria. What? No, seriously, no. Sorry, Charles, but it's better if we get past you denying everything. Sure, show me the truth, he says confidently, offering her his arm. She reaches over and quickly pinches him. Ow, that hurt! He pulls away and looks at his arm. Wait, that actually hurt. How the hell? Charles, wide-eyed, looked around. The unique smells, the hot and cold temperatures, and the pain in his arms hit him all at once. Oh my God, I am awake! Charles backs up, horrified, grabbing his head. Dreams can't have pain, but she pinched me and I felt it. I'm really trapped in this backward barbarian land? Magic is for children and lonely people who read too much fantasy. What the hell? No, that's impossible. I was just with my colleagues an hour ago. God help me. Please take me home. Val just looks at him concerned and takes a big breath through her nose. Sorry, but you were sent here like me and the others, forced to take on a new life. She reaches out to him to console him and show him he isn't alone. "Don't touch me!" he yells, rejects her hand, and backs up. "This is a nightmare!" She retracts her hands and gives him a consoling look. "Yeah, but you get used to it. Come in, Charles. I'll show you the others trapped here. I've been here a couple years now." He cautiously walks past the front door and passes the small living room. The room has a table with a nice rug on the floor. The couch seems soft and he gravitates towards it. "I'm gonna lie down. This is too much to handle right now and I am too drunk for this." "Very well. The first day is always rough." Val just leaves the room and comes back with a pillow and a blanket. He thanks her and lies down, closing his eyes. He feels less dizzy, but still can't comprehend what's happening. Maybe with some sleep I can get as good as new. This must be some kind of crazy dream. It has to be. I need to get back to my fellow wildlife biologists. I have no time to play fantasy games. God help me, Charles prays, lets his mind settle, and falls asleep rather quickly. It was around sunset. Alright. So we did make a few changes. We can take a look at that. Looks like we made it another version because I'm not seeing, like, we have a new descriptor for Val address that's a lot more efficient and gives you a better view of who the character is. So I'm gonna pull that in for use that. Let's see, where did we put it? That's probably when you start writing things and you start putting them everywhere. You put like one version here and one version there, and then you don't know where you put it. Here it is. Okay. All right, copy, and then let's read it with the new updated version. Let's see. It should be right here. There she is. All right, let's read it with the update. The church-like door is massive and thick. It looks heavy to push. Several stone steps lead up to it. A towering figure, about the same height as Dex, strodes through the door. Her posing frame wrapped in a polished chest plate that gleamed dully in the ambient light. The armor was adorned with intricate engravings of a man wielding a sword, lending to the air of a battle-hardened strength to her presence. The hulking woman hiding beneath the metal, highlighting her formidable stature, while the scar that traced down a jagged line from her temple down to her chin only added to her intimidating aura. Thank you for the likes. Despite the rough edges of her appearance, there was an undesirable beauty beneath her rugged exterior, a delicate jawline and striking cheekbones that hinted at a gentler femininity. With the right adornments, a flowering dress, and a touch of makeup, she could transform into a stunning vision, but for now she exudes a raw power and a commanding attention. Yeah, that's like way better. It's like night and day. That's a good update. Alright. And then we made one other big change that was up here. Let's go back to it. It's right before they go into the city. Oh, here it is. Again, too many versions all up at once. You get one from the editor, then one that you're like post editing from the editor, and then you there it goes. Alright. Sorry about that. I'll keep reading it to you guys in just a second. My thing is acting funny. Oh, it went in the header, that's why. I was trying to click on it, but it like would not for the life of me actually let me change it, and I was so confused. It turned out it was in the header. I was getting frustrated for a second there. Okay. Let's update this other section. Charles Lurch's the ceremony. Okay, yeah, here it is. So, from Charles Lurch's down to Kidding Me. Do 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 do. There it is, Charles Lurch's. I never mess with the one that I got sent from the editor. That way, I always have it. Okay. Now let's read it with the updated. Okay, I should still be able to see it. Let's make sure. I got so many versions up, I keep worried I can't see it. Alright, so Charles lurches through the end of the cave to find several men standing in a group, speaking in low voices. Charles rubs his eyes. The men are clad in medieval armor. Further away, others stand at attention, swords and spears to the side, along the grassy hillside, saluting the men in the middle. The military ceremony... I apparently can't spell anymore. The military ceremony is promoting a new high-ranking officer. One man is pinning a new insignia on one of his soldiers. In fact, there are grasslands extending in all directions, which strikes him as odd given his last memory he was at a campsite in a dense pine forest. Prairie shortgrass is strange. You shouldn't find that plant community in a forest. A perplexed expression gives way to one loud laugh which erupts from him from a yell in a relative quiet. All eyes dart towards the cave entrance. Medieval cosplayers, Charles laughed. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. Oh my goodness, they put it in the... Alrighty.